is Miss Soraya Colmenares. She is the head of the British Council, and she judged the Venezuelan essay competition that we have in Year 6. So please could you give her a big round of applause for that? The lady in the middle is Mrs. Christina Trinker, and she is going to give you your prizes, and you're going to look at her, if you have one, you're going to look her in the eye and say thank you if you remember. Okay, so let's give Mrs. Trinker a big thank you. Right, and the guy on the left, we know who he is. Children, who is this guy on the left? Pardon? Yes, Mr. Patel. And what we're going to do is ask Mr. Patel to say a few words to start us off. Thank you.
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Students, parents, teachers, anybody else I may have missed out. Thanks for attending. It's actually, I'll just take this out. It's actually very well attended, so thank you for that. Another year has passed, and many achievements. It's a shame we can't recognize every achievement that happens in the year, because there are many of them. As such, you know, students have been walking around primary this year. I've seen many great things happening. So before we start the evening, I'd like you to give yourselves a round of applause for all the good things you've done. I remember my head of school saying exactly what I'm saying today. It's not about winning and losing. And in my head, I would think, yes, it is about winning and losing. But it's not. It really is not about winning and losing. It's more about recognizing the great work. But there are some people in the audience today that deserve recognition in a public environment. You'll all receive your certificates afterwards. So that's what today is about. I was reading a couple of things, of course, before the evening. Malcolm Forbes, he's the publisher of Forbes. His father was the owner of Forbes. He founded Forbes magazine. And he said, education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one. And as I've walked around primary this year, it's actually amazing some of the work I've seen from, and these are just some of the things from the top of my head. They're not the highlights or anything, so I apologize if I miss any teachers out. I went to Miss Barton's class. There was some amazing storytelling. I went to Mr. Glover's class, phonics. Year 2, Miss Porcelain and Miss Kohler, high frequency words. And in preschool, everything, pretty much everything in preschool. In the recent assembly, Francisco Colonelli was hitting me on my foot. That was a memory I'll never forget. And in year 4, Miss Duthie teaching students with the iPads, and much more. Speaking to Mr. Bolton earlier today, and he's not going to like me saying this, and we were talking about learning, how much learning takes place in this school. And being a mathematician, he asked me, if we had a box, how big would this box be with all the learning that takes place? So I'm not going to answer that. Of course I can calculate that, but I'm going to leave Miss Nichols. That's her challenge over the summer, to calculate that. Okay, well, I'm not going to carry on and on. I'm going to leave it here. So I'm going to pass it back to Miss Nichols. Do enjoy the evening. Students, if you receive a prize, well done. If you don't, remember you've had a very good year, and it's the process that counts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patel. Now, as Mr. Patel mentioned, every student will be getting an individual certificate at the end of the evening. So at the end of the evening, the children will go to their classes to receive the certificate from their teachers, with the exception of preschool and kinder, who will leave halfway through to go to their classes, but we would still like the parents to stay to see the rest of the ceremony, because their tolerance level is Well, we'll have a look. Because at the moment, we are going to invite preschool and kinder onto the stage. So let's have a look at that. This is where it all starts. We have preschool in the front, and we're going to have kinder behind them. Lovely. Right, preschool and kinder, you're going to sing us a song. Can you remember what it's called? The More We Get Together. So let's all listen carefully. Wow, that was amazing. Well done, you guys. We're going to ask Mr. Wiganon to say a few words because she is coordinating the preschool and kinder.
Well, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. And look at all those smiles. I think we can tell that we've got together and we're all very happy in preschool and in kinder. Well, we've come to the end of my first year at TBSC, and it hardly seems a year ago that some of these children were just walking down those steps for the very first time. We've had lots of changes over the year. We have 2 of the newest TBS staff members on our team. I would like to thank the whole team for their hard work with all of the children to make this a really, really rewarding year for all of the children. The children have played a lot and they've learned a lot. And now we come to the reason for this evening, to reward those efforts with some prizes. So I would like to invite Miss Mary on the stage to accept the prizes on behalf of Preschool D. And Preschool C have worked very hard too. I would like to invite Miss Carter and Miss Rosa on the stage to accept the prizes. Thank you. Can Preschool please follow Miss Carter and sit down in the audience? The kinder children have spent 1 or 2 years in the early years program. They've completed the foundation stage, and they too have they've worked hard, they've played hard, and they're now ready to move on to Key Stage 1. They're all beginning readers now, so we hope they're going to enjoy the books that they're going to receive later this evening. I'd like to invite Mr. Glover and Ms. Lola on stage to accept the prizes on behalf of KD. Some of the children and some of the teachers will be moving on during the summer, so we wish them all well as they move on to new destinations. But I would like to invite Ms. J and Ms. Perrin on stage to accept the prizes on behalf of KJ. Thank you very much. Kinder, can you follow Mr. Glover back and sit down in the audience, please?
Thank you very much, preschool and kinder. Now, we're going to watch the year 1s and year 2s come down to sing their song, please. Let's have a look at you guys. Let's give them a welcome. Bit more complex, this. Right, that was beautiful. You look beautiful now, guys. Do you remember what song it's singing? They're going to sing a song called Best Friends.
Between us, in the
Miss Irina Kohler, please to come. In the absence of Miss Phelps, Miss Kohler has been taking over the running of Milepost 1, which consists of Year 1 and Year 2.
Good evening, everyone. Wow, we have had an eventful year. We have had 3 new teachers in Key Stage 1 and Milepost 1, and boy, have we had fun. Not only have we had fun in our classes, I've had the privilege of working with teachers with new dynamic ideas, really taking us forward. So, without further ado, I'd like to invite Miss Santos and Miss Eliana to receive the prizes for us. Could I please invite Miss Nuki to receive the prizes for 1N? Unfortunately, Miss Terry couldn't join us this evening, but Miss Nuki is here. So I've had the privilege of working with Mrs. Barjolan this year, and I tell you what, it's really inspirational to work with someone who you can bounce ideas off, who can, inspire you, who can have you take challenges and just take you that step forward. So Mrs. Barjolan, could you please come and receive the prizes for your class, along with Miss Catherine. Catherine joined us about a week before our assembly, and she just stepped in and took over. We are so grateful. Thank you, Miss Catherine. And finally, could I invite Miss Luz to accept the prizes for 2K? And there is no accident why Miss Luz is called Miss Luz. She has been my guiding light, not just this year, but last year as well. Miss Luz, thank you. Para todo.
Thank you very much, Milepost 1. Thank you very much. Now, let's have a look. There are certain teachers that if we kept this format, wouldn't actually come for an applause on the stage. And those teachers are people that are working very hard without a dedicated class. However, as they constantly point out, they work extremely hard during register time and all those times. So let's have a look at those teachers. Would you please come down, Senora Fernandez, Senora Paz, Senora Munoz, Miss Lilia, Miss Dudley, Miss Listaro, Mr. Camino, Mrs. Wilkinson, Mrs. Nunez, now these people I'm sure would like to hear a few words from our leader, so when he's ready, I'll hand over to him.
Eki did that on purpose. Mr. Dawson, can you come up as well? Mr. Dawson. Okay, when we had our recent inspection in April, one of the things we were praised for quite heavily was the use of specialist teachers in the primary section. And we do really appreciate the efforts they put in. So thank you very much, guys. A last round of applause. Thank you.
Now I have to make it up to Mr. Peter. No, it was on purpose. He's got a very special role coming up. That's why he's here. Right, guys, now the preschool and kinder are going to leave because we think that's kind of enough for them. So thank you very much, preschool and kinder. Now, while we're just leaving, I want to just say a few words about the difference between the years preschool, kinder, year 1 and year 2, and year 3. When we get to year 3, we consider the children in Key Stage 2 pretty grown up. And when you're standing here, you feel maybe that's a little bit harsh. But from year 3 to year 5, so year 3, 4 and 5, they are going to receive special prizes, book prizes. Now, if everybody received a book prize like they do in kinder, preschool, year 1 and 2, then it wouldn't be quite so special. So therefore, we get a little bit selective, and I'm hoping that everybody's going to accept that. Now, children, do you have a problem with that? No. No, parents, did you hear that? Children, say it louder. Right, they don't have a problem with being selected, and they do understand there's reasons sometimes they're not selected. But what we found over the years is the parents are the ones with the problem. So parents, are you going to accept it? Can't hear you. Children, most of your parents didn't go to the British schools, so that's wrong. Okay? Now, we're going to make a very... Yes. Now, we're starting, which is why Mr. Dawson's going to get us. Now, we're not giving him another clap. We're going to start with some very special sports people who really Mr. Dawson would like to mention on this special occasion.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Now, I've been so impressed by all the different sports that goes on in school that I asked Mrs. Nichols and said, Mrs. Nichols, we have to recognise some of our amazing sports people that we have in school. And not just in school, but also outside of school. I've been really impressed at all the amazing things that they get up to. Okay, now, we can't recognise everyone and everything, but I would like to recognise those people who've put a really serious commitment to a school team. Okay, that is a competitive school team that children have committed to all year. When I arrived here in September, I said I would take over some football coaching. And I didn't realise that meant right from the start of school until last Friday, which was our last match. So that's the kind of commitment that the students do. So we're going to start with the football team. Okay, let's start with football teams. So in primary we have the pre-B team and the pre-A team. Both had great seasons. Students, if your name is called, please stand up, make your way down and collect your pin from Mrs. Trinker. If you could stay on the stage. And Mrs. Nichols says you must return to the exact place or you'll ruin everything. Okay, first person is Luis Acosta, Nicholas Antagli, TK, Aaron Durham, Pablo Bringas, David Cortez, Ryan Simon, Nicholas and Bernardo Leon, Joao Boo, Genaro Rafa, Felipe Susano, Carlos Alba, Santiago Alvarez, Guillermo Perin, David Pires, Brian Dagger, Pablo Quiquez, Emilio Flores, Luis Manuel Gomez, Andres Michali, Netanel Michali, Camilo Flores, Ernesto Slato, Matias Trinca, Vicente Berrettini, and last but not least, Carlos Brugler. Okay, now the pre-B team did especially well. They made it to the Republic Cup final, so that was very impressive. Now, the next group we're going to recognise are our gymnasts. Now, if we take all the trophies that the gymnasts have won this season down here, I think they would fill all the tables and the whole stage. Okay, they've had a fantastic season. There's quite a lot of them, so get ready. First up, Alejandra and Isabella. Manuela Anzola, Mariana Mazoka, Clara Benjamin, Karina Capilas, and Manuela Capilas, Mariana Diquez, Mercedes Dominguez, Isabella Duran, Nicole Thurman, Fernanda Lapadula, Julia Leopardi, Leonor and Victoria Izardo, Sharon Mazulam, Mariana Operitz, Emilia, Victoria Phillips, Isabel Plaza, Maria Rangel, Leora, Rune, Daniela, Alexia Weininger, Mariana Zuniga, Fabiana Rojas, Sarah Altrudi, Malva Sofia Acosta, Valeria, Aya, Maria João, and Sofia Negas, Antonella, and last but not least, Carolina Olmer. And new name. You got new name? Okay, and the last group who I'd like to recognise are one of our newest teams who've committed all year to playing basketball. We've had our first kind of competitive basketball matches. Can I write down Elias Lapadula, Andres Michali, Aquiles Alberto, Rodrigo, Alba Nasseraf, Lucas Blom, Toby Cross Thomas, Nicolia Party, Nicholas Marshall, Juan Andres Quiroz, Michael Smith, Heine Loa, and Gastone Balongo. Thank you.
Okay, so he does deserve another clap. Let's give Mr. Dawson a big clap. That was great, and so many people taking part in sports and really just gaining for themselves. Great. And all the helpers, of course, that help run each of those segments. Thank you very much. Now, we have another big thank you to come because the books that we are going to present were actually donated by Mr. and Mrs. Phillips. So can you give them a round? Thank you very much. Now I'd like to invite years 3 and 4 onto the stage to sing their song. First of all, we're going to have the musicians. So the musicians come first. These are from years 3 and 4, so musicians, thank you very much. Take your places. Make sure you're comfy. Right, and now the classes, please. Thank you.